A lot of realtors are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not.
I do not, but I would like to know how.
The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Okay. We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class, and it'll be out soon.
Well, welcome back. I saw a lot of y'all this morning before I went to do a live interview on PBS with Whitney Reynolds. Yes, I'll be on the Whitney Reynolds show. So check her out on PBS. Amazing young woman. And I gotta get my microphone. Pardon me. Amazing anchor. So I felt very comfortable on the show and was able to get out a lot of information and information to allow the public who is going to view the Whitney Reynolds show on PBS information about how to service these homeless veterans in our community. I've been doing this work for 22 plus years, and it's still a lot to do. Even though I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans, it's still a lot to do. We still have over, I don't even know, because the point in time count, it doesn't even know, because those veterans aren't the only veterans who are homeless, where they go find them one day a year. They're not the only veterans that are homeless. You have veterans who are homeless living in places that aren't meant to be lived in. You have homeless veterans who live in their cars, who live, just go up and down on the bus, who live in the park. I had a veteran who told me, he said, "Miss Jones," I'm like, "Yes." He said, "It's a lot of places to sleep in Grant Park in Chicago." I'm like, "What?" So now whenever I go to Grant Park, I'm looking around like, okay, that could be a real inconspicuous place. But those are things that, as homeless, and not to discount any other homeless, but my main concern, because I know where resources are, is for those homeless veterans. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am an Army veteran. I was homeless as an Army female veteran of domestic abuse in my own home towards me. And I would go to the VA and they were like, "We don't have anything for you, no services." So that's the same thing that's happening today. And people say, "Just go to the VA, and do what? Get turned right back on out the door." So as a result of being a homeless female veteran of domestic abuse, because now you're putting in the icing on the cake. Now you get, "Oh, you come and stay here. Is he going to come and wreck the place too?" Oh, it was exhausting. And that's the same thing happening today. Our homeless veterans don't have the connectivity to the resources. And they're out there looking for resources and can't find resources. Go to the VA, and those social workers and case managers and human care professionals and first responders don't have those resources readily available. It's just that way. Nobody has brought them up to this new technology. So what I've been doing for the past 3 years is studying. This is 25, so 2 years. For the past 2 years is studying AI and how that works, studying how do you now research to gain more information, gain more knowledge. So with that new technology, I've been able to share resources that are current and up-to-date resources with homeless veterans nationwide. I'll show you. In one of my, it's actually in all the books. If you're here new to my channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. My name is Yvette Jones Swanton, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, and Professional Services in the GovCon space professional. So in this book, Finding Home, and let me just show y'all, please. All of my publications are on Amazon. Just type in my name and go buy yourself some education. So in Finding Home, right, there are veterans who contacted me from Washington, D.C., Hawaii, Las Vegas, Florence, South Carolina, Akron, Ohio, here in Chicago, Vicksburg, Mississippi. And my favorite is Hawaii on page 73. So the veteran who contacted me, who was homeless in Hawaii, right here on page 73, and these are part of the resources that I sent her. It's probably 5 pages of one, no more than that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages of resources in Hawaii that she was like, that I never heard of them. Oh, wow, I never heard of them. Oh, this company, this service provider I was in touch with last year for housing. I said, well, go ahead. The information is there. The information is yours. Give them a call because these are your resources that you need to use to get housed. So she contacted them and they said, we've been trying to contact you over a year. But understand, she's been a homeless female veteran, moving around, driving here to there, everywhere, maybe a different phone number. You know, who's looking at email and what? She's just trying to survive day by day, day to day. So they said, well, you were approved last year and you're still approved. So come and get your apartment. And these were in the resources that I sent. It was in the resources that I sent her. She didn't get the whole book. This book is written for you to learn to do what I do nationwide. I don't live in Hawaii. I've never even been to Hawaii. I'd love to go to Hawaii. This is another one, Las Vegas, Nevada. Young father with a 2-year-old daughter, homeless, needing resources in order to find his way to shelter. I sent him these resources and he contacted. And now he's housed. He contacted me by direct message to thank me. That then the next day they were bringing his furniture. I should have told him to send some pictures. I'm going to have to contact him. I got his information. I'm going to contact him. So what I do in the community as a realtor is educate. I don't go out to houses anymore. That ship has sailed. So I educate. I do have veteran buyers who my team and I are working with, but they do the showings and then they'll contact me. They say, okay, Vet, they want to put in an offer and we'll have that conversation to put in that offer. But I'm not your showing agent. I'm your educator. So you want to learn how to do what I do as a realtor, as an investor, because you're the one who makes this wheel turn. We can't house anybody as realtors if we don't have the housing. No. So you as an investor, you have the housing. We've got the realtors. I mean, we've got the veterans. So what you going to do? And I teach realtors too. One moment. I've got 2 master classes that I'm working on right now. The master class for investors, that's almost finished. I just want to run it by a couple people to see, is there anything, you are an investor, what do you think is missing in this master class? So then the second master class is for realtors. And this is the book that accompanies the realtors master class. This book and the class were both approved by the IDFPR, the Illinois Department Rules Professional Regulations, IDFPR. And it was also approved as a 3-hour course, but I'm going to let that slide because it wasn't enough time to teach y'all in 3 hours. So now this will be a 6 to an 8 hour, but the master class will be 1 hour because you can also have the book. But the class for realtors will be 6 or 8 hours. Unless I do the master class and they read the book first and then come to the master class. We could do that because who wants to be up there talking for 6 to 8 hours? I don't. I will, but I don't. So the Finding Home, this is for all those who say that I want to help house homeless veterans. I want to help veterans. This is a veteran in my town and he needs help. Where can I help him find help? In this book, Finding Home, this is a nationwide resource guide for supporting homeless veterans. Get that book in my bio or just go to Amazon and buy it. Let me know that you do because I am setting up, I'm setting up my private classes, my groups, and I'm gathering, I think it's like 61 people in the group already. It is 61 people in the group already. And that group is for a guide to veteran shared housing. Because veterans need shared housing. The veteran who we're working with now in Virginia, they could be in veteran shared housing right now as a couple because he is on her voucher as her caregiver. So why not have couples shared living houses for veterans? They, instead of being approved for a HUD-VASH voucher back in April, this is already October. Thanks for joining my club over here on TikTok. So she's had her voucher since April and this now October. And I was supposed to have her on, but I got in the house and I ran up here to just get on real fast. But I'll show y'all, I'll have her do a video and then I'll just share the video. How about that? April, okay, now you got May, June, July, August, September. This is October, 6 months with the voucher. And the voucher had to be renewed 5 times because she couldn't find housing in Charlottesville, Virginia. That's a shame. You want to know why she couldn't find housing in Charlottesville, Virginia? And this is just one case because I got New York, I got Texas, even Chicago. She couldn't find housing in Virginia. It's because of the old ways of housing people. We're talking about a protected class, veterans, a protected class who protects the nation, who has a voucher that pays the rent, who has been checked by 2 governmental systems to receive that voucher. So now you want to go in and say, okay, we want to do a credit check. You're working with the homeless veteran of 6 months. What do you think she's thinking about her credit? She's thinking every single day, where are we going to sleep? What are we going to eat? Where are we going to take a bath? Oh, we got to go down to the creek again to take a bath. It's cold now. Who can take a bath in a creek? Who does that? This is a veteran who served our country, various tours of duty, military, disabled, with the voucher in Charlottesville, Virginia, wants to say, oh, we're going to do a credit check, a background check, an eviction check. We want your first blood son. Really? Really? How are we protecting our veterans? How? You turn up your, and I say this every single day, you turn up your lips to say thank you for your service. That's what you do. You might as well spit those words on the floor, because that's exactly where they're going. When you say that to a homeless veteran, don't thank them for nothing if you can't give them something that they can use. Find out what the veteran needs and put your resources that you learn when you read my book, Finding Home, to work. You want to thank a veteran for their service and you see them down and out, and you know you want to blame the government. What's the government doing about it? You want to blame everybody else but yourself. When I have the new encyclopedia for veterans education, it's specifically for homeless veterans. That's what I talk about first and foremost. You know how much money there is in our community for homeless veterans? I'm just going to share 3 buckets of money right now, okay? The first bucket, we already know, Section 8. And stop clapping your hands. Stop it. Just stop clapping your hands. 2 years on the program, I don't care who it's for. If there's no system in place to help them move to a better position in life, then we're going to have a whole lot of homeless people who you just clap your hands for, talking about, oh, the government is going to kick you off Section 8, you lazy bums. Well, that's one bucket of money that we're talking about for our homeless veterans. That's the Section 8 voucher. That's the HUD VASH voucher specifically for homeless veterans. But then you want to do credit checks and background checks and eviction checks and where you live now checks, and all of those checks have already denied our veteran that housing. And you want to say thank you for your service. The government, Washington, D.C., the Department of Veteran Affairs today, and this was August 27, 2025, go to va.gov and type in the search bar 818 million. Just type that in. This document will come up. $818 million in grants went to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. I just said $818 million. So a homeless veteran has this resource through these 235 organizations that received $818 million to pay their rent because they're homeless, or to pay their back rent so that they won't become homeless, or to pay a security deposit because you said yes and thank you, Jesus, you did, or to pay their non-refundable move-in fee. So this $818 million goes for housing and housing counseling, health care, financial planning services, child care, legal assistance, and transportation. But what's on top of the list? Homelessness. How are you going to address anything else, really? Unless the veteran goes to the hospital and then the veteran is discharged homeless, which I have housed several homeless veterans who were discharged from the hospital. This is one of them right here, Mrs. Watkins. She was discharged 2 times from the hospital. Well, the first time she went to Jesse Brown Homeless Walk-In, and they told her she can leave because they can't service her. She retired VA, retired Army. Let me think. 100% service connected disabled pay, compensation, and Social Security. So she had 3 checks: a pension, her disability check, and her Social Security. And she couldn't even find a realtor to talk to her. She said she walked in the door of these community real estate offices and they sent her on her merry way because she said she was homeless. Nobody even asked, well, what are you working with? She's working with $6,000 a month and great credit. But you say she's homeless, she's worthless, she's not worth the steps that she's in our office here for. She's not worth my time to listen to her. So every time she said she'd go into an office and they just send her on her way. You're first homeless. You're nothing. You're not a 75-year-old Army retired with 3 tours of duty, 2 Bronze Stars, who served her country and loved being in the Army. She was in radio communication, top secret stuff, she was telling me. 2 Bronze Stars for exemplary work. But the VA told her to leave 2 times. 1 time from homeless walk-in, the 2nd time from the hospital as a patient down at Jesse Brown VA. And I'm throwing Jesse Brown VA under the bus, but I am throwing their workers under the bus, the ones who are responsible for homeless people, homeless veterans, and who let the homeless veterans sit in the hallway for 6 months until they find them a place, because they act like whatever, they don't know. So that's why I wrote this book, to teach case managers, social workers, human care professionals, first responders, how to engage effectively in our veterans community, especially our homeless veterans community. I don't take this lightly. I really don't. I was a homeless female veteran and it sucked. When I became a realtor and I found this community, that was over 22 years ago. I never left. I've got letters in most of my books from various people. Let me see. These letters here came from Park Forest, Illinois, from the manager there, from various investors, from Heartland Alliance, from Access Living, Housing Choice, from the VA itself. I've been here a long time, but I haven't been here publicly talking about what I do because I was always at the VA. I always had homeless veterans that I could service down there. Coming on social media to talk about this, what do y'all care? Because if you did, I thought to myself, you'd be trying to do something about it. I am. I would go to Jesse Brown and the vet centers and conduct workshops or be at workshops. And the ones I conduct, I didn't invite other realtors unless they were on my team because they're coming to learn. And I'm like, you're not even serious because I tried to teach you. I remember you being in my class. So I just stayed away from the realtor community. And I stayed tucked away at the hospital, Jesse Brown VA, the CRRC, all the vet centers, city colleges of Chicago, Cook County Corrections, Federal Bureau of Prisons, and various municipalities for 22 plus years. I didn't have to come and tell y'all nothing. I'm handling what I'm supposed to handle. You want to learn what I know? Then follow me. Follow me. Take notes. Listen. Follow me. Take notes. Listen. But now I don't have to do that. Get some books and educate yourself. That's why books are written. So this book for social workers, case managers, human care professionals, so you will know how to create your tribe. You need to know, and by you becoming educated yourself, now when you talk to a realtor, because listen, realtors want to get paid too. And you're a social worker over in HUD-VASH and you get like 30 homeless veterans on your caseload. You want to call somebody fast. You want to get these veterans vouchers on someplace quickly. But if you're not working with an educated realtor on how to know how to communicate with these investors, what we're looking for to house a veteran quickly, then, you know, everybody shies away because they don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the fortitude to want to learn because you're thinking this is the homeless veteran. They ain't got nothing. They got a voucher. They're like Mrs. Watkins has $6,000 a month. They got SSVF funding that $818 million. Oh, and I didn't tell y'all about the second set of the third bucket. The first bucket is Section 8 HUD-VASH. The second bucket was the $818 million. If that wasn't enough, on September 23rd, 2025, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the VA, announced Tuesday it will distribute $84 million in grants to 176 organizations tackling veteran homelessness in the United States of America. I just threw that in, of America. So you have HUD-VASH, you got the Section 8 voucher for homeless veterans. You got $818 million across various organizations that have received grants that are charged with using that money to house veterans. That's separate from HUD-VASH. And then you have another 176 organizations that receive $84 million. So you want to tell me a homeless veteran comes up to you, and I just told you about all this money, and that's not all of it either. I'm just giving y'all 3 buckets. That's not all that a veteran could qualify for, but you don't know what's out there, so the veteran gets nothing. The veteran doesn't know either. We don't know. We don't receive telekinesis to tell us, oh, you have service, you got benefits here and resources, but nobody tells us this stuff. When I was discharged from the military in 1984, I came home with $700. That's it. I didn't come home with unemployment. I didn't come home with 100% service connection, disability compensation. I didn't come home to educational benefits. I didn't come home to anything. So at my tender young age of 19, coming home from the military, 2 years later, I'm homeless because my daddy died and my mama moved. I'm just now 21. I don't know nothing. What? I can't go back to the military. If I go to school, I got to take out all of these student loans, which I ended up having to, and working while I was in school to pay some, miscellaneous things and just be in school because mama told me, when you get an education, you can get a good job and you'll have some money to pay for your way in life. I'm like, okay, I get that. So I stuck with it and I got my degree. When I was able to get my degree, I was able to get a job working for the City of Chicago Department of Revenue, licensing, home repair, SROs, those are your single room occupancies in public place of amusement. But I really did. I liked all three of them, really. But I really did like public place of amusement because I got to go to all the nightclubs, and I was a party girl back then. Me and my best friend, we would go. So being homeless is rough, and it is something that nobody wishes for. I mean, who wishes to be homeless unless you really have some type of mental anxiety? You know, I have worked with veterans, and I have housed homeless veterans who told me, Yvette, I look, the forest preserve in a tent, that's how he was getting down because he had to be away from society. So I found him a place that he really is a wonderful 2-bed, 2-bath condo near United Center, which was a rental that he used his HUD-VASH voucher on. And the VA, his social workers called me, and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on with him? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't heard from him, and you know, but he should be okay. Why? What? Well, he's been missing group because when you have HUD-VASH, you have a social worker who monitors your movement while you have the voucher. They're not like big brother, big sister, nothing, but they're responsible for you as a human being. So I'm like, well, let me call the owner and let me see what's going on. So I told them, look, I call the owner, you go over there, have your maintenance guy go. I have the social worker meet you guys over there. You do a wellness check. That's what you do. Have the police come, our police, just so whatever, because you never know, for his safety. Ambulance too. They went in and he was just hunkered down. What? He said, I needed to take a break. And since I didn't have to go to the forest preserve, I just did it right here in my apartment. He was just, so eventually, he got a pre-approval to buy a house. And you know what's funny about that is it was the same forest preserve where he had his tent. I'm like, what are the odds of this? But he found the house. So I want to thank y'all again for being here. If you have not clicked to like, to share, please do, because it does help everything. Let me go over here on and read some things that are on. So StreamYard says, like viewers' comments show up on StreamYard. Okay, it's an example. I know that. Oh, thank you for the love over there. Hey, y'all over here on TikTok. I'll be right back. Maybe I'll do one over here and one over there. So, Cindy, you said you wanted to talk to me, and I sent you my cell phone number to text me what you wanted to talk to me about, and we can talk through text until I decide and figure out what it is you want to talk to me about before we talk. Because I don't like all, you got to tell me first. I like to be ready for all conversations. So Side Hustle Bays, I just opened a veteran independent living. This is right on time. Yes. So you can do that. And I'm glad you have that. I also have a book that you can go and purchase in my bio because it gives you more insights on veteran shared housing. And also let me know you got it. I'll invite you to my private group and show you where this money is and teach you how to gain access to the money, to use the money. Somebody is out there. I was going to say shoveling. So I came over here, and now let me come back over here. Let me see. Hey, Nicole. I caught you on today, too. You had a very nice post over on LinkedIn. You said, where have I been? I saw you. Let me see. Somebody else said something over here. Is this in Illinois? I'm in Illinois. Hello, and thanks for your service, fellow vet. Hey, fellow vet. Hello, Yvette. It's me, Marlene Wood from Charlottesville. Marlene, I want, please, when you called me today, all I wanted to hear you tell me was, I got the apartment. That's all I wanted to hear you say. Oh, my God. Okay, so back over here, amazing mission. How can more realtors get involved in helping veterans get the book and learn? Daniel Jr. I think Daniel must be a bot because you ask me that same question every day. And I always say, get the book. It says a realtor's blueprint. So that's what realtors need. So how can realtors get involved in helping veterans? Get the book. Yep. This is ridiculous. I know stigma is that stigmatization. How you say that word? Stigma. That's all. Yeah, it is. I know. Talking about we homeless. Steve Huggins, you were just in Washington advocating for veterans. Did you tag him? Did you tag him, girl? Which books I need to purchase? I'm a veteran as well as 100% P&T. Okay, permanent and total. So I would suggest you get the guide to share because you just told me you had the shared living and learn what I'm teaching social workers. So definitely get the social workers collaborative housing for social workers book. Thanks for joining my team. I got to learn what teams actually do. And then I have a lot of books right here, right, for realtors because realtors can help you house your houses as well because we run into, let me tell you how you can use a realtor, right? So let's say a realtor found an apartment, condo, a house for a veteran with a voucher. And you contact, the realtor contacts the social worker because I do that anyway. I let the social worker know who I am and what we are doing because now we've become a team. We're a unit. So I let the social worker know, look, I'm working with Mr. Wilson. I found Mr. Wilson a condo downtown, but Mr. Wilson, the process is like 3 to 6 weeks. So let's use a different program, which is embedded in all of this $900 million. And let's use that while he is in transition so we can take him out of that U-Haul facility and put him in a veteran shared model. Okay, using this money. This is SSVF, Supportive Services for Veteran Families. Who has the money in your community that will put him in transitional housing? While his voucher that the realtor found in, so now while that place is being inspected and approved, that the realtor found for the social worker's veteran who is on her caseload, true story is in the book, put him in transitional housing. Somebody is getting paid for Mr. Wilson, and that transitional housing owner pays the realtor commission for that. And then when that unit that the veteran has for their HUD-VASH voucher is rented, now the realtor does all the paperwork and sends an invoice to the owner of that condo, and that owner sends a fat $3,000 check. That's how much my commission was on that condo downtown. So everybody is happy. That's how you use my books. You got to learn what you need to know because I don't teach you that. You got to read. So then I have the book coming out for Chicago, and I am looking for sponsors for this book. This book has so many resources, and I keep finding more and more because now there are new. Didn't I just tell y'all about all the organizations that receive those grants? So now there's new organizations, new money. And every city, every state has this. You know, I'm not going to say every, but they have a catchment area that they're responsible for using this money in for these homeless veterans, those 5 areas that I just read, including HUD-VASH. So then where the books are in my linked in my bio. If you write down my name, you can also go to Amazon. All of my books are on Amazon. That's me on the back. I have this suit on today, by the way. I did an interview on PBS. So that's me. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson. I'm also the publisher. I'm the writer and I'm the publisher because could nobody get out all this information as quickly as it was coming out of my head. I've been doing this for 22 years, and I've housed over 5,000 veterans in Amazon, yes, in so many different housing models, all using benefits, all using money to pay for them to live somewhere. So you tell me you want to house homeless veterans, go in my bio or write down my name, Yvette Jones Swanson, and go get the veteran shared living models. You say, hey, that I have a license. I'm an RN nurse. I am, good. You want a license? You want a license place? Get this book right here. This book was actually written for Atlanta, Georgia. But if you swap out city and state with the prompts I show you how to use, and you will get that same information for your city and state. Veterans from boots to business. I'm still working on this one because I put in here federal contracting, which I am. I have 14 federal, state, and city certifications. One certification is woman-owned small business, and it was going to be woman veteran-owned small business, but they said no. Service disabled. Oh, here they are on the back. Why is that one smaller? Right here. Service disabled, veteran-owned small business, veteran-owned small business, minority business enterprise. It's 14 of them. Yes. And I'm also a real estate instructor. I write my own classes to teach in the community. Yes, that's what's the next up for me. Good nonprofit and my certifications. Hallelujah. I like it. We are living beings, and I believe God has a purpose for all of us, and we can't stop. There's nothing that can stop me from educating and advocating, first of all, advocating for homeless veterans, and now educating you. For 22 years before I started writing, and what came out of my mind didn't come out until after I had a heart attack, COVID-19 pneumonia, and a stroke. And when I woke up in the hospital, Yvette, is your class available? My class, CE, contact your board and have your board contact me, and then I'll put them in touch with my board, because I just have to get the class re-licensed to be taught as CE. Otherwise, I'm just doing the master class for people, and you can get the book and have the knowledge. That's how I'm going to do that. But I don't mind coming to Georgia teaching the class, because this needs to be done everywhere, because we have homeless veterans everywhere. I'm in Women's World magazine too. So this is Gloria Estefan for you guys who are my age. I'm 60. So y'all remember Gloria Estefan, right? Alexa, play Gloria Estefan. Alexa, play Gloria Estefan. So that's me on page 52 with this veteran right here. This is the second oldest veteran who I housed out of homelessness. He is in my third edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate. Wait, my phone was ringing. Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. That's the book Mr. Baldwin is in. So Mr. Baldwin, the second most senior, I should say, homeless veteran who I housed. He was 80. Well, he had his 84th birthday right here. I was at his birthday party in his new house. He was a homeless senior veteran. How did he get homeless, Yvette? Well, his ex-wife, Miss Mary, I love her. Oh my gosh, she was a powerhouse. This woman was. When they got married, he sold his house and moved in with her, and they lived together that way. So then Miss Mary's daughter, somebody came and said, she said, I'm gonna sign the house to her. So when I die, I don't want her to have to go through a lot. So that's what happened. She got the house and told them they can leave. Y'all can leave now. Bye. I'm like, what? What daughter does that? But I've had another family member to do the same thing to these veterans. When they get to be seniors or something happens, they just kick them to the curb. This was my first most oldest veteran. He was 85 when he bought his house. And then in the back here, wait a second. Y'all need to get this book, right? I'm showing y'all teaching at Jesse Brown VA, at all the vet centers. And this was groups that would come and show up, 30 veterans, 40 veterans, sometimes 15, sometimes 60. One time I did a veterans housing and home buying workshop. They had to get chairs out of other people's offices and put them down the hall. So I had to stand like in the cut and open my voice loud enough so everybody can hear throughout the center. And this was at the Forest Park Vet Center here in Illinois. So, just get the book. This book right here walks a veteran through. If you've never used your VA home loan, real simple. I'm not trying to overcomplicate you by saying no big words. I'm giving to you straight. So this book right here tells you exactly what you need to do to buy your house. How do you buy a house? What is this COE all about? You mean they don't give me that money? No, they do not. It's a guarantee to your funding source who's loaning you the money. So stuff like that. I had veterans to tell me. So that's in this book. And that's me again. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson. Thanks for being here. You could be anywhere right now, but you decided to be here. I can answer some more questions, and then I'm going to jump off because I am working on 2 master classes. I have so much respect now for those who have done really good master classes, because I've seen some that were like, are you serious? What did you just teach me? And I have no takeaways. Yeah, okay. I'm an educator. And I look at things like that. I'll do everybody's master class to see what's good, what's not, what can I use, and what can I improve? What are the no-nos, stuff like that. But not to come steal your stuff, because I got enough stuff in my whole head. It's great to see real world impact. That is what leadership looks like. Thank you, Clive. I appreciate that. Okay, let me see. Miss Jones, how can I get involved with my organization to assist and help build a better life for veterans? My husband, my brothers, that's what you wanted to talk to me about? You got to get my books and learn. That's why I'm here. So I don't know what you want to do. So you have to tell me what you want to do. Then I'll let you know what books you need to get to read and learn from. And then I will have my private classes, my private groups where I teach more on these topics. But first, you got to read. Let me say this again. I don't talk to anybody. If you want to talk about veterans housing, veterans resources, get the books. If you don't read any of my books, then we don't have anything to talk about, because what you want to ask me is stuff that you want to know that's in the books. How can technology or AI streamline that's what I teach you in my books. She said, how can technology or AI help streamline the veteran housing process? For renters, all of that's in my books. It really is. It really is. What AI has done, it really, when you have a thought, a process, it helps bring all that together. And I teach you, I would like to have home for homeless veterans. What is my first step or first? See, I like that question. What's the first book? Have you ever worked with veterans before? Do you know anything about veterans? I'm trying to house vet. What book do I need? So I'm going to tell y'all like this. This is if anybody knows about Encyclopedia Britannica, Encyclopedia had books from A to Z, and no 2 books were alike because A and B weren't in C and D. C and D weren't in E and F. So that's how these books are. So it depends on what you want to learn, because I couldn't put all of my intellectual property into just one book to teach you everything you need to know. 22 years of housing homeless veterans. We can go in any direction with everything: housing, mental health. They need transportation. I just had a veteran today, Marlene. She needs furniture. I'm just praying to God, Jehovah God, please, please, please let her get this place. Please. Oh my God. She's been homeless in a tent, her and her caregiver in a tent since April. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And that's why I'm here to educate you guys on our veterans have already been screened through 2 federal entities. So what more do you want from us? Blood, sweat, and tears again? We did that in the military. Some of us came home, well, not me, thank God, came home limbless and are homeless. I have veterans without limbs who are homeless before I got them housed. Just horrible. Just horrible how people want to treat veterans. Horrible. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Great. I need to know when you're offering real estate classes. So every week, my real estate classes are in the book. It's the same thing. You come to class, you got to read the book because I don't read to you what's in the book. So the best thing now is to get the book and to join my private groups. I'm setting those up. I'm going to have a private group for realtors because I got to talk to y'all different. A private group for investors. I got to talk to y'all different. And then we're going to all come together because my groups are nationwide. You can do the same thing I do here in Chicago. You can do the same thing I do here in Chicago, in Charlottesville, Virginia. Thank you for the hearts. If I was in Charlottesville, Virginia, she would be housed because it's just a conversation that a realtor has with its clients. I like that purple heart. I've got conversations I have with my clients, my investors. I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans and trained just a handful of realtors because they're like, look, Yvette, do you know what he told me? It's a lot working with veterans. And then you want to stack homeless on top of it. You know how much anxiety and pressure and anger and I mean, I've worked with some very, very angry veterans. But what they needed was somebody to understand that, look, I'm angry and it's not at you. You're just here. You're like everybody else who told me they can help me and let me down. And I'm still homeless. So what's going to be different with you? Oh, baby, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to get you housed. You here in Chicago? Yeah. So now I'm working I need more investors who have properties who want to rent those properties to the veteran community with a HUD-VASH voucher. In order to work with me, and I don't care who I do this all the time, and this is the way I'm going to do it. Well, you can do it however you want to do it, as long as you say yes. You can do whatever it is you want to do. You want to do a credit check, you go ahead and do it. You pay for it. Our veterans don't need to be paying for that anymore. I think it's the law now that here in Illinois, the investor has to pay. I forget, I got to look that up, but my investors don't even do credit checks. For what? There's a veteran in here. Hold on, let me get him. Let me get him. All right. He was a homeless veteran right here. Right in my book. Right here. Right here. When you get the book, you'll be able to see him. Okay. He put the key in the door and was walking into his own house using his own VA loan all by himself. No wife, You know, you can only use your VA loan with the spouse or somebody else with the VA loan that you can combine. But, you know, talk to a lender about that. I'm not here to educate you on that. He went from homeless to a transitional facility, contacted me, and I got him housed in a 4-unit building, 2 beds, 1 bath. He stayed there for 5 years. Then I sold him a house. And he goes back. I had the investor on the phone with me on live with me a few days ago. And she said he comes back now to continue to cut the grass because she has a big lot next to her apartment building. Yeah, it's a community. It is a community. You say you want to house homeless veterans, get the education. I took time after having a heart attack in this community, after having COVID-19 and a stroke in this community, and came back and wrote all of these publications from the information I have in my brain on how I've been able to work in this community of homeless veterans for 22 plus years. And they're still calling me. They have a problem in Northwest Indiana. I know you do, because I talked to those homeless veterans, and I talked to a very dear friend of mine who is also a social worker. I know you do. They have 2 resources, but how is that possible, Yvette? Because they don't know how to find the resources in their areas to connect with, and the resources don't contact them. Instead, what the resources will do, that's the book they need. Instead, but what the resources will do is, I got word today or yesterday that several people were let go. They have a low staff rate right now. You have a low staff, but you just received a little over $4 million. So where's that money being allocated to? So we've got all these veterans, and where's the money being allocated to? So now you get to do your congressional letters. I'm just talking too much now. Let me get off of here, because I get down deep. I write congressional letters. I send them to, hold on. And I had to put everybody in their own plastic sleeve. Senators, I got to take everything out here's another one. Congress. This is the only congressman, the Honorable John J. McGuire, member of Congress, Lynchburg District Office in Lynchburg, Virginia, is the only one who reached back out to engage to find out why is this veteran still homeless. And they blew some smoke up his what's his title? I'll find it in the emails. His title is, he works for the congressman. Oh, well, they told me in the email, and then we're on the phone. They told me that she has a case manager and her case manager is working diligently. I'm like, do the math, man. Do the math. She's still homeless. So where's the diligence in her work? I don't get it. So you're letting her tell you words, but what's right in front of your face is this veteran is still homeless in a tent. Yeah. That's because of roadblocks and red tape. The roadblocks, we need legislation. We need the National Association of Realtors. We need everybody who can make changes in our government in the way our veterans are handled. We need them to be protected class citizens under real estate law. I got to finish reading this tonight. These are the code of ethics. This is code of ethics and standard practices of the National Association of Realtors. So I got to finish reading this. I was on the second page, but now I got to go back through it and highlight everything. I was on the committee, but I had to step down because I got to stay focused on moving homeless veterans. Even though I've got to reach back out to Main Street Organization of Realtors to let them know that I'll be ready for a 6-hour course? Do I really want to teach a 6-hour course? Or just teach it online as a master class? You buy the book and then you are in my private group. I got to see about that. Thank y'all for being here. If you have not liked to click to share and go to my bio to buy my publication so you can learn, then please do so at this time. I want to thank you all for being here. My name is I didn't tell y'all, because some of y'all might be new to me, but I want to tell y'all about all of my awards. Not all of them, because I couldn't bring them all upstairs. I'm in the corner of my daughter's old room. She's in college. So this right here is, I was awarded by the Main Street Organization of Realtors. I received the President's Award for 2025. This is from the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, Illinois Women Veteran Leaders of 2025. And this is for women of distinction from Omega Psi Phi Chi Lambda Lambda chapter here in the Chicagoland area. And then I have right here, a proclamation from Senator Michael Hastings here in Illinois. This was presented to me for Women's Veterans Day. And what I appreciate about that, and this is an article of me right here, I just hung on a wall from Woman's World magazine. And Gloria Estefan is on the cover. I'm still listening to her now. So yeah, so that's a bit of who I am, and I just came out of the community of doing the workshops at the VA and at CRRC, which is still the VA, at all the vet centers except for one, and City Colleges of Chicago, Cook County Corrections, Federal Bureau of Prisons, and various municipalities. So that's where I've been in the veterans community all this time, tucked away. So now I am here publicly with you guys. So with information that you can use, and I hope you do, because all the information that I have, and I'm still building on the library, all that information you can find in my publications. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson. You can type in my name in Amazon and read about me. And so this right here, let me tell y'all, this right here is my veterans series. I also have an international series, and I'm going to start talking about that after I'm finished with all these projects. I have an international series. I'm an intercultural communicator and an international author. So those books are also on Amazon, and those books are to support my families over in Africa. My son, who I've been paying and helping his mom and his older sisters for 12 years now. He's a big boy. He's 14 now. I got to see him when we went to Ghana, and he's in our book together. So you'll see us together. So he's got 2 journals, and then Linda has a journal. The journal for Linda helps to pay for her to go to school. Even though she has a sponsor, people can always use more. So any proceeds that come in for Linda and for Emmanuel, it goes to them. And then Evelyn, this is Evelyn's last year in high school. So all those proceeds go to Evelyn. And then the Salaga, the largest slave trade market in Ghana. Oh my God. I went there and I said, y'all need help. So we wrote a book. And then 2 books for Uganda, a book for Uganda, 50 children. And I'm like, hey, where you get all these kids from? And he said, and his book is also on my Amazon. So please support my African families, which are your families too. And he said, well, these children were orphaned and or abandoned. So, I was an orphan and I was abandoned at 10 and something happened. But anyway, it's in the book. And now he's caring for all of these children. So that's my big family. And I want to introduce them to you all. And then another book in Uganda of how they raise animals, and they give the animal to the next family, to the next family, to the next family. So all families now have something to eat, something to sell, and something to live on. And then that's the second series. Then I have a third series, which is more biblical. So just go ahead and look. I want to thank y'all for being here again. And I have been here a long time, more than 15 minutes. I don't know what I should call this show, because it's definitely not 15 minutes boots on the ground. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I will text you and ask which book I need to purchase on housing veterans. Enjoy your evening. I have to go now. I truly appreciate your tenacity and your fight on behalf of the veterans. Oh, it is truly my pleasure. I housed her husband back in the day. He's a veteran. He's Rev. Yeah. So, oh man, I haven't been answering a lot of questions over here. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5:15, because I put together a proposal, because the advocacy work that I do, nobody paid me to do this. Let me get that straight with everybody. Don't nobody pay me to come on here and advocate for these homeless veterans. I get paid. I get paid when you buy my publications and when you hire me as a consultant. After you read my books, because I don't talk to anybody until you've done gained some knowledge. And you have your questions, you're in my group. Every question that I receive after you read a book, I put that question and answer in the group. And then when I do my groups online, I'm in Chicago. And when I do my groups online privately, then we'll have those open dialogues. And if you have an organization that you want to hire my services for, then that's a contract. I was on 3 sources sought. Oh my God. And each one was for 2.6 million. And we didn't get it. We didn't get because they put in the bids and everything. And so now I am
Cindy Jones, 2 women holding.
That's my sister calling me. All right, so y'all, hey, watch this last video and we out here. Let me show y'all 2 veterans who I house. I'm going to turn the camera around so you TikTok, y'all can see what I'm doing over here. Over 5,000 homeless veterans housed. Hey, Mr. Fain, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Excellent. Tell the people what you want to say.
Young Yvette here has housed so many veterans. She's helped me so much. And now I bump into her over here, Jesse Brown.
It's so good to see you. I'm going to show him your hat because you are a Navy man.
Yes, I am.
A proud Navy man. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to go holler at Bob. These are 2 of the veterans that I housed. Just met in the hallway. That's it. Go, don't run nobody over. Yes, it is. Who are you? Can stand up now. Look at you. Look at you. Don't do. You coming?
Yeah, I can't get my mind focused on getting a house.
Yes, we can get you a house. That brightened my day. I was about to cry. I'll tell y'all that story later. Chicago, VA, Jesse Brown. So that is it, y'all. Thanks for being here. Ciao for now.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series. a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.